I'll change that shit.
Don't do it. I'm talking. What's up, RPG fans? Welcome to episode 38 of the SwitchRPG podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Corey, aka RPG Re, and I'm joined by the voice of the people, none other than Gio. How are we doing, sir?
Not only the voice of the people, but the AFC champions in the NFL National Football League.
Yeah, you had to get a little help from the refs. But you're no stranger to that, are you?
What? Help from the refs? What are you talking about?
I mean, it wasn't as bad as the other game, but I think there was a little bit of a.
I think it went both ways. Bad calls went either way. You know what?
You know what? Both teams dealing with it. Anyway, if this is your first time listening to sports podcast, this is a podcast from the show from SwitchRPG.com that brings you exciting news, upcoming game releases, and everything happening in the world of RPGs on the Nintendo Switch. This week, we are getting Nindy with our bad selves. Playing Nintendo actually makes you a little smarter, and HD 2D is here to stay. So sit back, enjoy the ride. But first, a quick bit of housekeeping. Make sure, if you enjoy this podcast, to take a little bit of time and hit subscribe and review. It helps out quite a bit. Also, if you would like to join in the conversation, be sure to join our Discord community. You can join by going to SwitchRPG.com and selecting Discord under the Media tab. Lastly, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. There you can watch our Let's Plays, game reviews, or join our live recording of this podcast at 8:30 Central Standard Time. But enough of that. Gio, it's time to jump into the news, and we got a little bit of news today.
What? There's been nothing that happened, especially today. Nothing happened.
Nothing. But you know what? We did some digging, and we found that there's a live action movie of Pokemon. So that's what we're going to lead with today.
Yep, I did see it again while I was watching the football game.
That's where I saw it first as well.
Right.
And you know what? This may be just a thing to get me on the bandwagon. You know what? Everyone has something that gets them hooked into some genres, and for me, maybe it's going to be Ryan Reynolds being Pikachu detective.
It had to be Ryan Reynolds for you to do that?
It was a great selling point. I mean, have you watched Deadpool?
Of course. I've watched both Deadpools.
I mean, his snarky sense of humor just
It
gets me every time.
it res
So
it resonates with you. Is that what it is?
yeah, yeah, I can channel. Maybe Pikachu is I don't know,
He's
the
your
first Pokemon I need to catch.
he's your spirit animal. He's
My spirit animal. There you go.
now.
Anyway, what?
No, what I was going to say, there have been a lot of mixed reactions with this. Some people, I think it's very polarizing. You either like it or you really hate it. I'm in the camp where I really like it.
Well, what? Well, so I obviously am not in the realm of the Pikachu. Is this gonna maybe that diehard Pokemon fans that aren't liking that this is a movie, or what's polarizing about it?
I think it may be the diehards. I'm not entirely sure because my brother-in-law he's a diehard and he is absolutely enthralled with this movie. He can't wait until this movie comes out. I think what a lot of people are having an issue with is that they look too real. Like that's I
Okay.
mean, I don't really. At least that's what I've seen out there. Like Jigglypuff, for example,
Okay.
he looks like this pink piece of bubble gum, but he's furry in the movie.
They looked good in my opinion.
They
I
look
I thought
very good, in my opinion, as well.
yeah. So for those who are wondering, May 10th, I believe, is the release date for the movie. But okay, so that I mean, I guess that is like if you grew up. I guess if I grew up playing all the Pokemon and I had in my mind a particular way that Pokemon need to look, and it looked something that I didn't really approve of, then maybe I'd have that same opinion. But anyway, I liked it. So
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah. Well, if it's pulling you in, I mean, it's going to pull in a lot of the Joe schmoes out there. A lot
I'm
of the
gonna be
people,
a believer.
a
I'm gonna
lot
be
of
a
the,
believer.
a lot of the Pokemon noobs. They'll have you.
Never, never, never. Well, speaking about noobs, NintendoSoup.com has a little article about playing Nintendo makes you smarter and more socially aware, according to a study. I don't know how that relates to noobs actually, but you know what? Hey, you can't win them all.
Hey,
You can't win them all.
you went with it.
Yeah, yeah. I,
You,
I called myself out.
so I mean, this goes against what a lot of people are saying about video games. How it causes aggression or violence. There are so many different studies when it comes to video games, and this one just kind of shows you it when it says smarter. I'm not entirely sure what they mean by smarter because that
Well,
can
here
mean so
let's
many
let's
things.
let's just I'll skip all the reading and go to some key findings here. Let's just skip to that. The first bullet point is research shows that those who game have more gray matter in their brain, which is important for forming memories and strategic thinking. Number two, kids who play games show improved social behavior and life satisfaction. And number three, research say that this shows certain areas of the brain can be trained by playing video games.
Right. And I would think it'd have to depend on the video game as well, obviously. And I think, and this is just me being me, I think role playing games, RPGs in general, are done in such a way where they're actually making you think a little bit more.
Exactly.
They're making you read. They're making you do math. I mean, there's tactical RPGs. There's a whole sort of they're all different genres that fit into different things that I think people can associate with, and the, I like I said, I feel like there's learning involved there.
Absolutely. And the thing is that you probably know just as well as anyone, you go from one title to the next and the system's completely different and you're relearning it. Heck,
Mhm.
just go to a game that you put down for 6 months and come back to it
Right.
and you have to relearn it. I mean, you're engaging your brain when you're doing that, and when you're depending on the different styles too, you're learning different skills as well. So I think there's definitely some validity to it. I know not so much with video games per se, but there's studies with Alzheimer's that if you like the reading, there's and also just challenging yourself in different, like I can't remember the article, it's way back, but basically the long story short of it is that engaging in games in general can help prevent also not prevent Alzheimer's, but just engaging your mind gives you a better
Yeah, I mean,
produce.
I think with the Wii, even you saw a lot of the Wii in nursing homes.
Yes.
You know, not for the like the Wii Sports, not just for that. But you know, they were up and they were moving around. They're being social. They're like I think that tends to help. Now there are some drawbacks, especially with gaming nowadays. There are less and less co-op games. I remember having a bunch of friends over and you know we're sitting on the couch, we're tied to the console itself, we're wired to the console. You're not seeing any of that anymore. You're seeing
No.
everything is just online. Everyone wants to do something to someone else's parents, you know. I mean,
Yeah, exactly. And you know, I think that there's a whole generation that's doesn't even know what a split screen might be. You know,
right, yeah.
it's just like it just. You're right. It used to be just something that was always ingrained with us, but I don't know.
Right.
Anyway, speaking of the Wii's, though, this from RPGsite.net. Last chance to buy a look at RPGs on Nintendo Wii Virtual Console.
Oh,
Nintendo's Wii Shop channel, particularly the Virtual Console, was a bit of a small revelation when it launched back in 2006. Digital games weren't brand new or anything at that point, but it marked the first time that Nintendo's vast library of classic games would start to be available easily for purchase from your couch. You didn't have to track down an old Super NES machine and cart to play ActRaiser. Just load it onto your Nintendo Wii. So anyway, this article was really great. It had a few titles to suggest. We'll start with Chrono Trigger is one.
yep.
A little game called Secret of Mana
Never heard of
that
it.
you may want to see if that strikes your fancy.
Yep.
Final Fantasy Mystic Quest.
Yep. Is Xenoblade Chronicles on there?
I don't believe so.
That's unfortunate.
Faxanadu? I forgot. I
Yeah.
knew I looked that game up. I knew I was going to butcher that, but anyway, I forgot how to say it again.
I played that on the original Nintendo. That was a long time ago. Long time ago.
Ogre Battle, The March of the Black Queen,
That sounds like a good RPG.
Yeast Book 1 and 2,
Mm-hmm.
Fantasy Star, and yeah. So it also says to make sure if you have some coinage and you want to use it before the last date. But I don't know. Actually, did it say when the actual date was? Soon. Don't wait. Use it now.
Yeah, don't wait at all. Just
Read the article. Oh, here it is. Here it is. January 30th.
oh wow, that's coming up quick.
Yeah. Next Wednesday. Next week. Next Wednesday, I believe.
Yeah.
All right. So use them up. GameOfSutra.com has a fun little article that Square Enix trademarks HD 2D in Europe and trademarks Hero Land in the US and Europe.
I don't like this.
Really?
I don't like it. I mean, how can you trademark a style of a video game? I mean, that just seems kind of like a jerk kind of move to me. That's like Borderlands. I know they're not the first ones to do it. That's like Borderlands saying we're going to trademark cell shaded games. How can you do that? I mean, you can always just call it, you know, something else. You can call it whatever you want. It just seems like a jerk kind of move to just take something like that. I mean, people, the best form of compliments is kind of people copying you. And they're almost kind of taking that away in a sense. You know, people might be afraid to, you know, make this game because Square Enix, they're kind of a big company. They might come after us.
They might.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm not really sold. I'm not happy about this. And
Okay.
you have a different opinion. You seem like you came in with a different opinion anyways.
Well, if that different opinion means that we get Final Fantasy VI
Oh, okay.
HD 2D
But
immediately.
but you can have that without the trademark.
You're right. You're absolutely right. But I put my blinders on. There's a lot of creative people. They'll do something snarky. They'll describe it some other way.
Yeah, and without a doubt, you can, like I said, you can change the terminology, but it'll still be the same thing. It's just, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just kind of a jerk move,
Well, it seems very, very Square Enix.
Yeah. Yeah, but like I said, take my example. You know, Borderlands, just trademark and cell shaded action game or something.
Yeah.
It just doesn't
Which,
it doesn't feel right.
correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like people use that term anyway.
What's
I feel
that?
like I hear that term, cell shaded.
Oh
I
yeah.
feel like I hear that all the time now.
Right, but
So,
no one's trademarked it.
yeah. Well, we shall see.
Right. And actually we're getting some chat in the
Okay.
in here. Some other terms you could use is 2.5D, or there are many different things you can change it to. It just
I feel like you need to just add max at the end, and then you're good.
okay, or deluxe.
Ooh, definitive.
There you go. There you
The
go.
list goes on and on and on.
It does, but it just didn't feel right.
You know, it doesn't feel right.
I know.
This next story.
Is it Soldier Boy again?
No, I left that out.
Okay.
TLDR, whatever, however you say that. Soldier Boy's out again. Gonna lose all of his money.
Good.
Anyway, segmentnext.com has a quick little article. Rumor. So we are on a rumor. Fallout 76 could go free to play soon. Copies pulled from shelves. Fallout 76 has had a rough launch, but no one really knew how bad the situation was until reports of the game possibly going free to play started surfacing. The news remains unconfirmed, but it looks like preparations of Fallout 76 going free to play are possibly underway. EB Games, one of the biggest video game realtors in Australia, is reportedly removing physical copies of Fallout 76 from its shelves.
Ouch. Now,
is it 90 days? Are we're around the 90-day mark?
I don't know what it is, but let's just hypothetically, okay, let's just say this is
and this is hypothetical.
Right. Let's just say hypothetically that this is true. They're starting the process. They're starting in smaller markets. They're removing their product from smaller markets
so they can put in.
They put a label
transactions.
Well, either that or slap a label on there, free to play. In-game transactions, whatever label you want to put on there. But what is this like? What about the people, myself included, who paid for this product?
Preach.
And this product was incomplete from the beginning, and even now it is incomplete, not unplayable. I mean, there are a lot of people that play it. It's just
well, for a lot of people, that may be like the game that they're like they're diehard fans. Maybe they just aren't able to buy games that often. They sunk it in, was all bought in, and then they're trying to make the best of it.
Yeah, they're just.
And then you make it, and apparently, I don't know. This is another situation with it making it free to play. Have they fixed the griefing problems in the game yet? So you couple that with free to play users are like, you know what? I want to ruin someone's day, so I'll download this game real quick, pop in, and nuke every map I see.
Right, just by paying to do it. You could do it, right? Yeah. Oh man, there's just so many things that could go wrong here. Oh, I mean, I just like the list goes on and on and on about how like it's like this giant snowball effect.
I've seen this in other things where I constantly tell myself, I don't see how this could get any worse. But in video games, it's really hard for me to think of something, at least recently, that is like this, where each day, for a while is each day, and now it's more like each week, something else comes out, and you're like, wow.
Yeah, I mean, I remember the most recent thing I can think of is Mass Effect Andromeda.
Yeah, but even that didn't draw out. Like, I think people realized.
Well, that's because BioWare closed down the studio that made it. So I mean, they kind of like put the kibosh on that. But I bought the Power Armor edition for Fallout 76, and so that puts me in like a whole another category.
Did you ever get your canvas bag?
Yeah, I'll get it in 6 to 9 months. They said. So whenever that shows up. Now again, we're getting a little bit of chat here. Did you play World of Warcraft?
Me? No. You remember last week where I said there's games that I particularly do not play because I know my addictive nature, and that I was in college at the time, and I saw people who failed out of college because of that game.
Wow.
And I was like, you know what? Maybe one day.
Or maybe never.
Yeah.
But yeah, I
Yeah.
mean that had some free to play elements into it, at least when with
Yeah.
some trial memberships. But yeah, Bethesda's in a world of hurt right now. They're
Yeah.
they're in
It's gonna be interesting.
yeah, they're trying to just maintain this hurricane, and it's ugh, it's they and
It's like it goes back out to sea, gains more power, and it just comes right back in
it's
to the
this
mainland.
isn't going to end until the next game comes out. It really
No,
isn't.
absolutely, absolutely. Which at least is it? Starfield, is that the name of
Yep.
the? So I mean, hey, I'm all about that genre. So if that pressures them to say we have to hit it out of the park with that, I'm okay because
Yep.
I, unlike you, did not buy the armor edition of 76, so I feel a little bit less bitter.
And the reason why is because I had done a lot of trading in, trading up, so I actually had the Fallout 4 Pip-Boy edition. So I sold that. So like I just kept trading up, trading up. It took a while. So when I sold my Fallout 4 Pip-Boy edition, I'm like, "Oh, cool. Now I can actually get a power armor helmet that I can wear," which I've only worn once when I opened it, but I mean, I just have all the Fallout collections and
Yeah, I understand. I understand.
oh man.
Probably doesn't make any better. Anyway, moving on. GameOfSutra.com, Dragon Ball game Project Z action RPG depicts a never before expressed nostalgic and new Dragon Ball world. Ooh. Bandai Namco recently teased Dragon Ball game Project Z action RPG depicts a never. That's what I just said. And we're moving on. Probably should have read it. Oh, that's all. That's all it is. Okay.
Okay.
So,
It still, I mean, it still doesn't really give us an idea as to
no,
really
but
what it is.
I it vaguely did say that I believe this weekend,
Yep.
or is it next, is when they should give us some more information. I'm really excited.
Yeah.
I'm really excited because I think that they'll hit it out of the park with this. And it's one game that's it just fits. I feel like it fits with Dragon Ball, an action RPG. You remember, right?
Yeah.
Arcadey. It's this is gonna be right up my alley. Right up my alley.
So it's got to be arcadey for you to like
Or
it.
extremely realistic.
Okay.
It's when we get into that gray area.
All right.
And again, for the people, I just said if I was going to make a tier of RPGs I'd personally like to play, it goes tactical, turn based, and then action. And Geo runs with it like I'm against a
So
third of the RPGs for the rest of my life.
so you hate all
What?
action, and that's like almost half.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, you're alienating quite a bit of people out there.
You know what they need to do? Just get good. Go
Yeah.
turn based.
Oh man, get good. Playing turn based? I don't know about that. I don't know.
That's where it's at. That's where it's at. Get
Well,
off my lawn.
Well, that's the strategery. That's kind of the parts that really have your brain moving and thinking. So
Yeah.
that's why you're so much smarter than I am.
Anyway, move.com. Europe's physical release for Final Fantasy 10 slash 10.2 HD Remastered includes Final Fantasy 10.2 HD Remastered as a digital code. I believe I read that right.
Yep.
Yesterday, we posted on a European retail listing for Final Fantasy 10 slash 10.2 HD Remastered. Both games will indeed be available through one retail package, but there's a bit of a fine print on the Amazon Europe listing that is sure to upset fans. While Final Fantasy 10 HD Remastered will indeed be on a game card, the listing states that Final Fantasy X2 HD Remastered will include in package as a downloadable code. So,
Okay.
for those who want to get physical, I can see where they could be upset.
They want to get physical. I gotcha.
I-
Gotcha.
It's something about for me, and with Nintendo, I like having physical copy. Like my PlayStation, it's pretty much all digital. I don't know what it is. I has to go back to my childhood,
Okay.
getting the cartridges, even though we're on a micro SD
It
size
doesn't
card.
matter, right? You got that
I was about a week ago. I was actually thinking about this. I think this is about as small as I can get and still have a feeling of nostalgia with physical. Like if it goes to like a micro SD size,
Oh,
I think
boy.
I'll finally like whatever they put into your Samsung, like whatever that is. I guess that is micro SD.
Yeah.
Anyway, if it gets to that size, I think I'll finally lay it to rest. But I still still feel it.
Yeah, I mean, I collect, so everything I get is physical unless I can't get it.
Yeah.
So I mean, going back to this Final Fantasy, they've done this. Nintendo has done this before. Not Nintendo, but Bayonetta. Bayonetta 2.
Hmm.
So Bayonetta 2 was physical, and then you actually got the download code for the first Bayonetta, which is fine. I mean, if you really wanted to, you could find the physical version of Bayonetta 1. I mean, it really wasn't that high up on my list, so I didn't mind it. And for those physical collectors, they're gonna want the physical version. And I did hear, and I think it actually might be Japan that is getting a physical version. So someone is getting it, just not Europe, and potentially just not us.
Because we wouldn't buy it.
We would buy it.
Yeah, that was sarcasm.
Oh, I didn't know you had a sarcasm. My apologies.
I'm actually fluent in it.
Oh, really? Nice. Is that sarcasm?
No.
Oh,
Yeah. Anyway, guys, we're gonna make it today. I'm a little under the weather, but we're gonna make it. We're gonna make it. But anyway, we kind of hinted at this earlier in the show. We had a little bit of a drop today. A little drop today of some indie titles.
there was some.
There were some. I'm getting the itch. You know what? And this scratched it for. I think this can scratch it for how long do you think? A week? I want a full blown direct.
I mean, I've been wanting it for a while. There's so many unanswered things. We say
But
this all the time.
I know, but I feel like we're getting too close.
Right. And I
Yeah,
want to say
it's
that they've done this before. They kind of did like a highlight film kind of thing, and then they did a Nindy direct, and then they did
yes,
a full direct. So,
and that like during. Okay, anyway, I don't want to get too distracted, but anyway, I did enjoy the indie direct today. It was short, sweet, and I had some surprises in it.
it definitely had some surprises. Wargroove was finally they announced a release date. That
It's
was
next Friday,
Yeah, it's coming up
which is
quick.
crazy.
And that's right up your alley, I think, right?
Yes, I'm excited about that game. I remember like it said March 2019, so I kind of didn't really have it in the forefront. I really like the art style.
Right.
Art style looks awesome, and yeah, tactical. It's got a lot of. I don't know. It looks very interesting. I'm really excited to play it, and it's gonna be here before we know it.
Yeah. And
Um,
like you had said, it was March, right? And then
mhm.
they moved it up earlier. So I'm wondering why that is. Maybe Nintendo's like, you got to push it up because we got other things going on. And it's
And
gonna
I'm gonna jump ahead real quick to one article from GoNintendo.com that's relevant for Wargroove.
Yep.
It says Wargroove to support cross-platform between Switch, PC, and Xbox One on day one.
Well,
So the good
yeah.
news is, just keeps on pouring for Wargroove. It has been confirmed that the game will support cross-platform play on day one between Switch, PC, and Xbox One. No word if/when the option will be made for PS4 players.
Hopefully never. Hopefully
Oh,
never, you PlayStation
it's
players.
in the beta. It's in the beta testing.
I don't.
They added Rocket League to the beta.
Yeah, finally. After like a lot of people complaining.
Has RPG elements.
Rocket League
Uh,
does?
Oh yeah, yeah. You gotta. That's an action RPG at its finest.
No. No.
No, okay. You got okay. That one was a stretch. I'll admit to that one. But anyway, what other games piqued your interest?
Um, Crosscode. Crosscode.
Yes.
I mean, I that the game's out on PC or Steam if you wanted to get it now, but that game just reminds me of Secret of Mana so much, and it is apparently it's a really long game.
Really?
Like 60 to 80 hours long. So it's got the Secret of Mana vibes as well as Chrono Trigger. So if you're into either one of those things, so it's blending them really well. And that alone is making me into that game. The soundtrack, I did actually listen to it. If you go to their website, Crosscode's website, you can listen to the soundtrack. It is freaking cool. There's like 80 tracks, and it is really good. So that was one of them.
I really like what I saw of it. The world, the 2D. I'm not gonna say HD because I didn't have that vibe on it.
You
but
can't do it. You can't do it. Anyways,
you gotta get in before it's done. That's how you do it. But I'm really excited about that game. That one, I think for me, actually, I'm gonna lie. The one that I've never played before, the SteamWorld Quest. That looks very interesting to me. I've never really played a game like that.
Okay. Yep.
I like kind of like the occasional like Hearthstone games, stuff like that. So it kind of gets vibes of that, but you just with an RPG. So
right.
I've never played anything like that, and it looks really cool. And I think I'm definitely going to try it out because it looks like something that I would get into.
Yeah, the art style looks really interesting as well.
It's very good.
I mean, I played SteamWorld Dig, but that is this. SteamWorld
Did that
Dig,
have the card aspect
not
as
even,
well? Or
so different. So different.
Okay.
I
so
mean,
that one...
SteamWorld Dig is a Metroidvania.
Oh, okay.
So I mean,
wow. So
it's not an RPG at all.
Huh. Well, let's not say all. I mean, loosely. Loosely. Anyway, and then we had Forager.
Yeah, Forager feels like a Stardew Valley type of game.
I got a lot of that vibage going on.
Another one, it's not an RPG, but it's made by the same developers as Wargroove. I think it's called is it Inmost?
Okay.
I
just remembered one.
I'd have to look it up, but I think it's called Inmost.
It looks while you look it up, I saw one that caught my eye. Not RPG at all, but do you remember the metal the heavy metal,
the rhythm
game?
Type game? Yep.
That's a game that I probably won't get because it looks like one of those that I'd be terrible at, but it looked really cool. It looked really cool.
I would love to see you play that and struggle with it. It would be phenomenal.
Well, maybe we can do some of that future content for the YouTube channel. Oh, bring on the comments. Great video, poor gameplay.
Poor gameplay. You're terrible.
I may get worse than that. I don't know. So fun. It's a little sidetracked. So I didn't have a Wii. But my best friend in college had a Wii. It's when the Wii first came out, and we would always play Guitar Hero. And we kind of play Guitar Hero before we'd go out at night, and then we played again when we got back, and we were always better before we left than as opposed to when we got back, because we were tired from all that studying and stuff like that.
Yeah, sure.
So I just was watching that and chuckling about how like I was always the bassist because I couldn't always handle the extreme rhythms, and my friend was the guitarist and he was shredded, and I'd always be
they'd have to carry you, is what you're saying.
Definitely on when we'd return home. Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Anyway, but so I don't know. I'm definitely we might have to do that. I mean, that'd be fun just to see how bad we can be. I can be.
Yeah, that game had a lot of elements where it was like a shooter and rhythm game.
It had a lot of stuff going on, but it looked really cool. But again, it looked like something that I would be terrible at.
Right. Yeah, the game I was talking about is called Inmost, and it looks really phenomenal. It's a very dark type of game. It's a platformer. Like I said, it looks really interesting. I do want to see a little more, but definitely on my list, day one is Crosscode.
Yeah. Did they? Was that summer? Was that what they said?
There was nothing.
Just 2019.
Yeah, just 2019.
I think summer was the death metal.
Okay.
One, whatever it was called.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, I guess that's going to wrap up the news. So, Gio, what have you been playing this week?
Well, I've been playing a lot of Fairy Fencer F. Advent Dark Far. It's like got a lot of letters and words in it.
There is. There is.
But it's a very interesting game. I'm actually really enjoying it. There are so many layers. I feel like every dungeon I go through, they're adding a new mechanic. Another dungeon, a new mechanic. Another I feel like I never am gonna get to the end of it. It just keeps going. What else? I'm playing Animus. Still playing that.
Okay, yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm being distracted by the comments. Where
Well,
where the spider thing? Oh, I'm sorry. They're talking about one of the games where the spider thing appeared behind the guy. That looked good. I think that was in Crosscode. I'm not entirely sure, but yeah, I'm sorry. So Animus, Fairy Fencer. I'm actually still playing Cosmic Star Heroine. I'm
okay.
really digging that right now. And that's about it. Red Dead Redemption's just chilling out there, as well as Divinity Original Sin. I still want to get back to those. And Mutant Year Zero. Man, I'm really itching to get back to those, but I'm just playing way too many games right now.
I hear you. I hear you. I had a really low key playing week.
Uh,
If you can't tell, I've been a little under the weather, and there's something that I think, like growing up, this is how my parents knew if I was really sick or not. Is when I didn't even want to play like video games.
oh
So
man,
I'm on the uptick. I feel better. I just haven't recovered
fully.
vocally yet. Yeah. I feel better, but yeah, I was pretty knocked out pretty much the past 4 days. So I played a little bit of Tales of Vesperia.
Yep. Oh, I'm playing that
And
too. Yep.
yeah. So, but I didn't like the first week I mean, if I would be like halfway through the game, put in how I did the first, which I want to, but just haven't really been gaming too much, but you know what that means.
You
I
gotta
gotta
make up.
catch up.
Yeah, you gotta make
Yeah,
up for it.
gotta put
Now,
in overtime.
now you're, I think, pretty far into Tales, right? You had mentioned about 10,
Yeah,
13 hours.
I'm almost to like 15 hours.
Okay.
Probably on a 14-hour, yeah.
I'm at this boss. I think it's a boss. He's like a dragon. Okay. And
Okay.
there are plants that you can kind of use to your advantage. I'm not sure if you're familiar with that boss at all.
Okay. Well,
It,
you're not in the forest, are you? No.
it is a foresty area. And the reason why I ask is I am having a little bit of trouble with this boss.
I'm thinking that. Are you talking about? I thought he was like more like a wolf, and then he had like two little mini wolves.
Yes, okay, it is a wolf then. You're right, you're right, you're right.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
not a
Yeah. No,
dragon.
that was very difficult.
Okay.
That was the one that I talked about a few episodes ago, where I was under leveled, and
That's
I
my
didn't have
problem.
any. I didn't have any. What? Yeah, he's like a level 20 boss.
He's a level 20 boss. I'm level 14. I'm like, this
I was.
is
Yeah,
not working. I'm gonna have
and
to
I didn't
grind
have.
up a little bit.
I didn't have any items too.
Okay.
And so what I had to do, I started to grind till I was like 18,
Yep.
level 18, and then I would go in because you only get there's no random encounters, which normally I'm like, oh, thank you, but now I'm like, well, so I would kill all the enemies I could,
Get it.
heal up, save, and then fight them, and then die,
Yeah.
and then fight more enemies and level
Well,
up, and
you
then
could.
try
The
again.
way I've been doing it is you have that little area that wolf is
Hmm.
in. Then I escape. I get out of the forest, go into the overworld, get some of those
Oh,
guys,
see,
go back into
okay.
the forest. Those enemies respawn. So that's how I've been
Well,
doing it.
Well, talk about me being stupid. I didn't think I could get out of the forest
Yeah.
because I went and the guy talked and he was like,
Yes.
"Oh, I
Yeah.
think we should go back into the forest."
Right.
I'm
But
like,
then
"Well,
if you just kind of just make your way, you can actually get out.
I thought I was like in a WeGraph type and Final Fantasy Tactics where like you're stuck here until you do it."
No, no, no.
So
You
I
could.
put in some good work there.
Yeah. It sounds
Well,
like it.
you know what? It made me stronger. I'm a
the
better gamer for it.
the more you know, right?
Yeah. Anyway,
So
so
that's what I'm in the process of doing. I'm at that
yeah,
crossroad.
I'm not going to tell you how to play, but if you want to download those extra level ups,
Oh
you could
yes.
jump your level up 5 levels like
Okay.
instantly. Just saying,
That
it's
could
out there.
that could help. That
It's
might
out
help.
there. But no, go for the little pups first is what I did, and
Yep.
then
Yep. Yep.
he gets crazy, man. He's and I actually did some research online because I was like, is this just me or is this? And apparently, like they were like, yeah, no, this is maybe one of the hardest battles in the game.
Right. And
So
it hits you early. It really wants to bump your level.
yeah, and that was the one where I was not driving. I was walking around. Oh yeah, now I'm just gonna go to the next town and spend all my money, and I can't wait because that's kind of how the game progressed. And they're like, nope, detour, big boss fight.
Right. If you happen to watch my Let's Play for
Oh,
that,
I will. Which episode's that?
I think it's episode 10.
Okay.
The first encounter. So I didn't I saw the save point. I'm like, "Oh, let me just see if there's a chest here." I didn't save it, so I lost
Oh, it
almost an
jumps into
hour.
the cutscene.
I almost lost an
Oh,
hour of time because I didn't save it at that point. I'm like, oh, let me just see if there's a chest here, and
that's one of it's and it's not that it's a pet peeve of the game, but it's something that when that happens to me, I had to put the game down
yeah.
because I'm disheartened. I'm like, why did I do that? Why did I do that? I'll put in a different game. I'll be like,
Yeah.
okay, I gotta cleanse my palate. Gotta kick some little kids.
No.
Madden.
All right. Okay. That RPG. Okay.
Yeah, yeah,
I gotcha. All right. Well, I don't. I
uh,
didn't want to go too far into the Tales of Vesperia because I know a lot of people want to play it, and also,
yeah, yeah.
I mean, that is still fairly early in the game. It just hits you
Yes.
it hits you hard pretty early.
Yep. So make sure to level up.
Yes.
All right. Well, it's time to move on to sales and releases. Remember that you can look up all of the Nintendo Switch games at switchlist.app, and that's what I'm using. And we're going to start off with our sales for RPGs for the Nintendo Switch. First off, we have Code of Princess EX, which is 50% off at $19.99, which is an action adventure role playing game. Double Cross is 25% off at $14.99, which is a action platformer RPG. Fairy Fencer F Advent Dark Force,
Yep.
that's a full title there, Gio,
There you go.
is 20% off at $31.99. At 58% off, Final Light The Prison at $2.93.
What a weird percentage off. I don't know where
Yeah.
they get these numbers.
Little Do 2 Plus is 67% off at $9.99, which is action adventure puzzle RPG.
Yep.
You can still pre-order Le Grand Legacy. Comes out tomorrow. Spoiler alert for the next segment. Mana Spark is 33% off at $6.66. We're skipping Plague Road. 20% off Regalia of Men and Monarchs Royal Edition is $19.99. That's actually I messaged Meatball Sub and I was just like, hey, dude, would you like? I kind of want to review games for the site. Can I do one? And he said, yeah. And I said, okay. I randomly picked that one because it looked good,
and
it is a good game. It was just a little buggy. It's one of those things. It was a crowdfunded game. They had a patch, and I popped it back in to see if it's just a screen load times take 7 to 10 seconds.
wow.
And you're going between and we're talking one place to the next. But it's really great voice acting, really good story. Yeah, it just what could have been.
Right.
Anyway, Super Daryl Deluxe 40% off is $11.99. Thea the Awakening is 10% off at $16.19. Troll and I is 50% off at $14.
Don't get that one.
Don't get that one?
No.
What do you got?
No, that one. Talk about buggy mess and just an
Really?
ugly game. It's Troll and I.
Oh,
It's bad.
Well, $14.99 if you're into that thing.
If you want to waste your money. Ugh.
And then Utopia 9, A Voldal Vacation is 40% off at $5.99. All right. Anything on that list?
That list, no.
No. Okay.
No.
Moving right along. Le Grand Legacy is coming out tomorrow. Tale of the Fate Bounds. Ask Divine Hearts 2 comes out tomorrow, which is a role-playing adventure simulation strategy RPG. Octung Chalua.
Oh boy, if you're struggling with that name, you are in trouble, sir. You are in trouble.
We're gonna have some let's plays of that tomorrow.
I want to hear you practicing that name.
I'm a little clipped.
Oh, okay. I'll let you slide right now.
I did practice it, just not very well. I called it Chalua.
Chalua? Not
You ever had Chalua?
No. What is that?
It's a hot sauce. It's a hot sauce.
Oh, okay. All right. You guys in Texas always have that
Oh,
hot
it's
sauce.
good. If you've never had Cholula, it's really good.
Well,
It's really
I'll send you my mailing address. I mean,
okay.
I'll
Yeah,
accept
there we
it.
go. There we go. Heroes Trails comes out January 25th. Unworthy, it's a new listing, comes out January 29th. Dragon March for Death, which I'm pretty excited about, comes out next Wednesday, January 30th. I thought it was the 31st, but no, okay. It's in there twice. It's listed twice. It's Thursday. Yeah,
Okay.
it's January 31st. And then Halcyon 6 Starbase Commander.
Good. Good
Yeah,
enough.
it's strategy, role playing, simulation RPG, January 31st. And then Thea, The Awakening, February 1st.
Yeah, and that game is also on sale. It looks kind of interesting. Again, it almost looks like a civilization game.
Ooh.
So it looks interesting.
I'll have to look into that. I really enjoy civilization games.
Yeah, it looks like something like that.
I'll need to look into that.
Cool. Some okay titles.
Yeah,
It's not
yeah.
it's not a big hitter this week.
Yeah, next week I think, because we'll also have Wargroove
Yeah.
next week too. So yeah, next week I think it will be a hot little week for RPGs.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Now it's time
To say
for a little
goodbye? No?
No, we got a little bit of list of questions now. Gio, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to hear from you. Remember, we're all about community here at Switch RPG Podcast. So if you want to be part of the show, you can email your feedback and questions to podcast@switchrpg.com, or you can dive into our Discord at discord.switchrpg.com and post in our podcast channel. Gio, check the board for the listener questions.
Okay, this is a listener question from Phil from Twitter. Again,
oh, I forgot. No, no, it wasn't Phil this time. It was someone else. It was Pretty Fly for a White Guy 99.
Oh, so this is Pretty Fly for a White Guy 99XO? Okay.
Yeah.
So, hello. My question for the podcast this week was inspired by a tweet from Ragnarok4455. What franchise that traditionally doesn't have a turn-based combat would you like to see get a turn-based entry? Because RPG reruns, that would be you, can't tolerate action combat.
So this is going to be really quick.
Really?
All of them?
All of them? Every single one of them? There's got to be one specific one that you could, like, that would ultimately, I mean, maybe a game that's kind of, you really like as action combat, you know.
That's a great segue, because I do have, I gave this question some thought, and I came up with a short list. And I think the one that's on the top would be Ys.
Yeah.
I would like to see what they could do.
I think that there are a ton of characters they could use, and it feels like it could work right itself way into a turn-based game.
Yep. Another one, I haven't played one forever, but I played Star Ocean, the second one.
All right.
And so, but I know there's a lot of other titles. I haven't played them, but that was an action RPG that I think could fit well into a turn-based as well.
Okay.
And then I said all future Final Fantasy games.
All future. All right. I mean, what do you say about like Final Fantasy 15? Kind of like a time turn-based, or what would you? Are you okay?
Just want to be a little snarky.
No, I understand that, but I mean, is that considered turn-based though?
No.
No. Okay.
I wouldn't.
No. Of course. I mean, if you wouldn't, then I can't, right? Someone in the chat says Borderlands that plays like KOTOR, so Knights of the Old Republic. That would be awesome. But the problem is I trademark cell shaded, so I don't know if we can do it. Why not The Witcher? You know, why not The Witcher?
I thought about that, but I thought you would have my head.
No way, man. I would love to see The Witcher or Fallout. Again, that's not really turn-based. It tries to emulate that with the VATS system. It lets you slow the combat down to a halt. But I would love to see Fallout 4 that way. Yeah, that's my main two that I would like to see. And I would almost love to see it as a 16-bit type of game. You know, really kind of make it old fashioned. Really,
Yeah, absolutely.
you know, um, it wouldn't be able to be HD 2D, but that's okay. That's all right. Um, but something like that. But yeah, those are my two. My two.
All right, all right, all right. All right. Well, Gio, I think you know what time it is now.
Now I know what time it is. It is time for our side quest. Okay.
That's right.
And
Pack your bags.
yes, we're packing our bags. We're going on a little side quest. It's a little information gathering quest. For
Resources, leveling up in experience.
right. So for some who don't know, or maybe just kind of newly listening in, Phil has left us to deal with real life stuff. So but now we're stuck with. I mean, we got you.
Whoa.
I didn't mean to say that out loud. Now we're with you, Corey. And I figured now would be a good time to get to know you. And
Absolutely.
if you're comfortable with that. I mean, I don't know what kind of information you're willing to give, like social security number, driver's license, all that type of stuff, credit card information. Yes. You
know what's also to let the listeners in on a little bit of secret. I feel like Gio did this on purpose. He hid the Google Doc for the show notes, so I couldn't practice the news, and also, so I wouldn't know that the side quest was to get to know me as a person. Yeah,
I definitely
created my own show notes and separate in the correct file.
Yep.
I start listing off the news, and Gio's like, "You don't have any of my articles. What'd you do with them?" They're not there. Anyway,
I did not do that on purpose. I really didn't.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm going to need you to do some questioning. I guess I'll do the basics real quick. So,
sure.
I started gaming. Actually, my grandparents had an Atari. I don't remember what model it was, but that was my first exposure to video games. Was an Atari. I was playing Pitfall. I was playing Haunted House, which I never understood what to do because I was like 4. And I wasn't very good at Pitfall too, by the way. But I would play games on that, and I knew that I really liked it.
Yeah.
And so I would say around when I was 5, maybe 6, my parents got me a Super NES. That was my first console.
Oh, cool.
Loved it. Played a lot of Super Mario. We talked about it a little bit. Donkey Kong Country was my jam. Then we graduated to the N64. It blew my mind, like Mario, like 3D. I was like, whoa, this is the future. And wow, talk about games that age well. Anyway. And then I remember vividly, I was in 5th grade. And I was in line to go to lunch. And 2 kids in front of me were talking about a thing called PlayStation, which I had never heard of.
What?
And I was just like, oh no, it can't be as good as Nintendo 64. And I remember this kid turned around. I can still see it. It's like burned in my memory. He goes, "Oh, it's way better." And I go, "Really?"
I gotta get that.
Yeah, exactly. And so I've been PlayStation all throughout.
Yep.
Throughout that, I had a Game Boy too, the original Game Boy.
Sure.
So, and then like I said, my best friend in college had a Wii, and we would play stuff on that. I didn't play too much of the Wii, but what kind of got me back into the Nintendo Switch was I was replaying one of my favorite RPGs, Final Fantasy Tactics, on just my iPad. And I was like, man, you know what? I really, 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 really miss playing RPGs. And so I went down a rabbit hole. E3 came around, and that's when I saw Octopath Traveler, and I also they said the Ultimate Smash. I was like, dude, there's like every single character. This seems like a great jumping in point. And I got a Nintendo Switch. I haven't looked back.
Nice. Well, welcome back. Okay,
yeah.
Welcome back. Yeah. You did miss out on a good console, the GameCube.
Okay, I didn't own a GameCube, but my brother had one. Brother had. So I did play GameCube. My brother had one. I was kind of going in my line. My brother also had a Dreamcast.
Oh,
which I liked the Dreamcast.
Yeah, I was never. See, the console wars were legit back then.
ruthless.
Yeah, so I was always a Nintendo kid, still am a Nintendo kid. I didn't own a Sega product until like 2 months ago,
Oh,
where I got a
good.
Sega Model 1.
That just jogged a memory of me. Why I didn't like Sega either was growing up before I had a Super Nintendo. So I was 6. I was in first grade. Before I had a Super Nintendo, we still didn't have a console. My mom actually was um we had a computer, so we had a few DOS games that we'd play and stuff like that, like
Oh,
learning one.
yep.
Nothing really cool. But my neighbor had a Sega,
Oh, yeah.
and I would ask to go over there all the time, and my mom didn't want to burden, so she'd say, "Oh, I'll be back in like 30 minutes, like 45 minutes, like something like that." So I'd go over there, and hoping that one day this kid named Chris would let me play Sonic,
Oh, yeah.
and he never did.
What?
Never did.
You don't
He
still
never
talk.
let me.
You don't still talk
No.
to him, right?
We moved away. We moved
Oh,
away.
okay.
But that was my experience. So I was like, Sega is the worst. Nintendo all the way.
Yep, yep.
That's what- And I don't hold grudges.
All right, I do. I mean, what sort of hobbies do you have? Do you have any hobbies
So
other than
yeah,
like grilling and barbecuing down in Texas?
actually, I really enjoy. I really enjoy grilling and smoking meats. Like I'll smoke briskets, ribs,
Okay.
pork butt. I don't want to brag, but I'm kind of good at it.
Oh.
I get into hobbies and I kind of like learn everything there is to do about a hobby. So like uh, I am my own worst critic. So I messed up a few briskets back in the day, but I've got down to a science.
Really?
Internal numbers and readings. Yeah, I geek out about it.
Holy
I
cow.
got probes going all over the place.
It looks like a science experiment.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. But I used to brew beer. I used to do that for a little while.
Oh,
I used
nice.
to have a lot of hobbies. And I think that the one true hobby that I've always had in my gaming.
Yeah.
Like I have a lot of other hobbies. Like we were talking earlier, I have a kayak that I've taken out on the water a few times, but probably not enough to justify owning a kayak. But anyway, I fly fish kinda. I got into that.
That's like
I
me with
enjoy it.
metal detecting. I spent so much money on like
My wife, if I came home with a metal detector, my wife would, she'd say, "Get out."
So
That's the last straw.
so
She'd be like melting.
what
That's the
happened with
last
me
straw.
is I got into this rabbit hole like you watching
So
YouTube videos. I'm like, wow, these people are really finding stuff.
yeah,
I'm like
it pays
researching.
for itself.
Yeah, I'm like researching like how to find places and all this stuff, and then meanwhile I got like $300 of equipment that I haven't
Yeah.
used yet. I mean, I used it in my backyard. I have 3 acres of land, so I kind of
Yeah.
used it in my yard. I did find some cool stuff. I mean, I found some horseshoes. It used to be a farm, so I found some horseshoes, some pieces of equipment, but nothing. Again, nothing justifying the purchase of it yet.
I'm pretty sure you can sell a vintage horseshoe for like $1. So find like 297 more of those, and
I gotta find some more of them. Oh man, but yeah, you brew beer. I don't drink anymore, but I was big into the brewing scene as well. I have a lot of good friends.
it's a haul. It's a haul. Like I kegged it and everything. Like, and that's science. And there's all temperatures that you got to hit your number. Like, and then I mean it's a lot.
Yeah.
You got your carboys are just percolating, fermenting, and may or may not explode.
My friends still they're still doing it. I just, like I said, I kind of
What I do, I haven't done it in a while, but I let other people get interested, and they're like, "Hey, you know all about it." I was like, "Yeah, I'll teach you how to do it," and I end up like pretty much doing it for them.
Oh man, that's not how you teach people.
Yeah, well, they're doing it wrong. This is how you do it.
Yeah, and then you're like the perfect friend. Yeah, how do you do this? And you just do everything.
Yeah.
So last but certainly not least, the last question I have is this was actually a side quest from a way earlier episode.
Okay.
It's about pet peeves that really
Oh
shouldn't be pet peeves. Like for me, for example, if I'm at a drive-through and there's too much space in between the car, like say there's a car in front of me and there's too much space in between that car and the car in front of them for no reason, I just lose my ever-loving mind. I have no idea
yeah.
why, and it really shouldn't. It's not a big deal. We're not going anywhere, but there's too much space there and it should be closed in. So that is a pet peeve of mine.
Okay.
Along with people, again, I don't know if it's just the drive-through situation or maybe I just need to stop going to fast food joints. When people are at the window and they put their car in park, and to do all their dealings, that means they're going to be there forever, and I don't have time for that. So, again, these are pet peeves that really are harmless, really shouldn't bother anyone, but they bother me.
I got you. Yeah, I probably have. It's one of those that I don't always think about till it's there, but I don't like it when people don't signal.
Oh,
That's one.
jeez, you have to
That's
come to New England. It is pretty bad up here.
And then another one driving is like when I'm like it's not a busy street at all, but you have a light and there's like 2 to 3 lanes, but the person is the only car that's already at the stoplight and they're in the right-hand lane and they're not turning right.
Yeah. Yep.
And
So
you're just
it doesn't
waiting.
allow for you to get forward.
Yeah,
I mean
that's a little bit of
that first one you mentioned, that's a hazard.
Oh,
That's a big problem.
yeah.
And we see that so much up here. I
Yeah.
mean, I'm probably a couple of towns over from Rhode Island, and they are just notorious for it. And maybe everyone says that about their state or town, but I feel like it's so bad here. So yeah, I think
All right.
I think that's good enough. I think I know enough about you. I don't know that I want to know anymore. Oh no, I
You're
killed him.
killing me.
I killed
You're
him.
killing me.
Oh man. But yeah, very good. Very good. I mean, anything else you want to share? You good there? Oh, he's dying. Ugh. He's got the black
don't like-
lung pop.
I'm one of those people that don't like clowns.
What? What's wrong with
Yeah.
clowns?
They just creep me out.
Yeah. So you
They're
didn't
just-
you didn't watch the movie It recently?
So
That was a great movie, by the way.
I went to go see it. So here's something. I went to go see it. I needed to go see it because it's like a remake of a classic. Blah 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 blah. I don't know why. It was just stupid. I shouldn't have done it. I don't like. Here's a little thing. I don't like scary movies. I like learning about what happens in scary movies
Wow.
and like the plot line. And that goes with scary games too.
Yep.
I cannot handle them. I close my eyes about 11 times in that movie.
So that is the
I am a pansy.
complete opposite with me. I absolutely like when Halloween comes. My whole house is transformed to a haunted house. I mean, we go to Salem all the time. I don't know if you're familiar with Salem.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that's kind of our mecca there. We are always there every year.
Ugh.
Just
I just-
horror
I
movies
get-
and horror movies
I
and horror
love-
shows in general. Beautiful. Absolutely love them.
I love learning about like, okay, this is what happened, and I'll look up the plot and read it. Sometimes I'll try to watch it for as long as I can, and then I'm okay. I'll look up the plot and fill in
Really?
the pieces.
Oh,
I can't do it. I
that's
get like
bad.
too. I'm the person that's like,
Oh man, are you do you have Netflix?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I mean, again, kind of a recent show, Haunting of Hill House. Absolutely phenomenal show. Watch
Okay,
it.
well, if Haunting and then Hill House, those are like they don't even have to be in the same. Like Hill House just sounds scary. Nothing good's gonna happen on Hill House.
Oh man,
No, not gonna do it.
that's too bad.
I watched like I actually just watched on Netflix like The Last Kingdom, something like that. So
Okay.
I watched that.
Yep.
So
Good.
I'm watching some shows. I don't watch that much TV. Like I play games more
Yeah.
than I
See,
watch TV.
I'm more games as well, but I do another podcast just for movies
Mm-hmm.
and TV shows and stuff like that. I absolutely love it. So I'm watching The Punisher right now.
Nice.
Um,
Oh, one
so
thing
far,
that
so
I am
good.
that's kind of
and
I'm
Game of
watching
Thrones, rewatching Game of Thrones.
Deadly Class. It's actually the second episode on Sci-Fi tonight, but it's based on a comic book called Deadly Class, and I watched the first episode last week, and it was really good.
Oh, I'll
It's
have
about
to.
like these kids. It's kind of like a private school of assassins.
Oh wow! All right,
Yeah.
I'll have
So
a look at
it's
that.
actually pretty cool.
Cool.
Yeah. So there we go.
Very good. Very good.
Anyway, guys, I guess that's gonna wrap up this episode. You got a little tidbit of what it's like to know Corey, I guess. But anyway, if you have any other questions, at me
Yep.
at rpgreruns.com or we're not .com, whatever. Anyway,
.com.
we're wrapping this up. Outro.
He's losing it.
And
He's losing it.
I tried to go so strong. We're going to be better next time, I promise. And that's going to wrap it up for episode 28 of the Switch RPG podcast. Thank you so much for putting up with my sickly voice and thank you for everyone who's sending their questions and comments. Keep them coming by emailing podcast@switchrpg.com or posting in our podcast thread at discord.switchrpg.com. Remember, you can listen to this show each and every Friday at switchrpg.com, or you can subscribe to your favorite podcast app. If you're listening on an app, please give us a rating and a review. Your support there would be amazing. Also, don't forget, if you would like to watch us record live, subscribe to SwitchRPG YouTube channel, where we record this podcast live Wednesdays at 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. And if you would if you like what you hear, remember you can head over to patreon.com/SwitchRPG and throw us $1 or $2 if you can. If not, no worries. You being part of our community here at SwitchRPG is what means so much to us. And finally, remember you can head over to SwitchRPG.com for all your RPG needs for the Nintendo Switch. Until next time, keep on grinding that backlog and always refill your potions. And also, make sure you save before you go into the woods. Gio.
Oh man,
That's at you.
That was brutal. One other thing we actually missed. I don't know how we missed this. Dragon Quest 11 is being shown off, I think. I think
this weekend.
So, thanks to DACA78 for reminding us. You know, we missed out on that one. That's a failure on Corey's part. He's you know, I didn't mean to throw. I didn't want to throw him under the bus, but it's his fault. It is all his fault. He's dead. Goodbye, guys.
I'm dead.